Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sulk stream. I'm your host, the Incredible Sulk. I hope you guys are doing good. Fantastic. Buenos Aires. That's how you say hello in Spanish, I'm pretty sure. I think I got it. We have some wonderful Spanish music here. How you guys doing? What's good? Are you guys happy? That's what I want to hear. Are you happy? Fantastic. So now we're talking about space lasers. It's a silly topic, but we're gonna dive right into the socio-political ramifications of space lasers, the tactical nuke type of thing. Are they real? Are they not real? Are they Israeli? Are they U.S.? Are they a mixture of both, or are they neither? They could be Japanese. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We don't have proof that they're here. We don't have proof that they torched Hawaii. We don't have proof that they start random fires all over the place, but they could. They could. They could. And they probably do. They might not be on space lasers or like orbiting the planet and stuff like that. They might be in airplanes, right? Because they do have that technology. That is very real. But we're talking about space lasers right now, so we'll see. We'll jump back and forth. We'll see what happens. Anyways, how you guys doing? Is everyone good tonight? You guys making me proud? Of course you are. Of course you are. So handsome. Everyone looks so good tonight. Anyways, what is tonight? Tuesday. Tuesday night. Welcome to Tuesday night show of the Sulk stream. Again, we're talking about space lasers. So, we're going to dip into like the whole Ronald Reagan Star Wars type of thing. And, you know, it goes on like that. It's a thing. So, get ready for some learning and that and all that. I guess we might as well just get started. I don't have much else to say. Yeah. Get comfy. Get cozy. Get a shark tank full of sharks with lasers on their heads. Get a nice 40, right? Chill with your mini-me. God, I wish I had one. I have two sons, but, I mean, they look like me, right? But, like, they're not adults. When they're adults, I'll be cracking 40s with them, and we'll be hanging out. It'll be a lot of fun. I'll be like, your dad's drunk again. They'll be like, we know, Dad. I'll be like, sweet. Anyways, I'm really looking forward to that. Anyways, yeah. If you're working, keep working. If you're driving, keep driving and stay safe while you drive. Anyways, let's jump right into it. I'm the Incredible Sulk. This is the Sulk stream, and this is called the conceptual failure of orbital lasers. Enjoy.
Watch this video ad-free and see the exclusive companion essay I made, The Failed Space Weapons of the US Military, only by watching on Nebula. Nebula and Curiosity Stream sponsored this video. The Latin phrase Deus ex machina translates literally as God from the machine. In ancient Greek theater, where the phrase originated, this literal translation made sense.
And who knows, we might pop around. You know how the show goes. You know how the show goes. If I get bored with this, we'll do something else.
In several Greek plays, a seemingly unresolvable conflict would suddenly be swept away as a god entered the plot and solved a problem in a way mere mortals could not. Furthermore, this god wouldn't simply walk on stage. They'd descend from the heavens, lowered onto stage as if by magic, descending from a crane above the set. This happens in Alcestis, written by Euripides around 2400 years ago. The titular character, Alcestis, dies. Oh no, what a tragedy. Only for Heracles to descend and fight death itself to bring her back to life. God from the machine.
Okay.
Deus ex machina.
All right. We got the whole thing.
Nowadays, of course, the phrase rarely refers to gods or even machines.
Sorry, I was just fighting some bitch on Twitter, and sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, I have to do a show now.
Instead, people use Deus ex machina to describe...
Despite we've heard, oh, me, right there. Ardenshire Scott Oneas, what's up? Oh, I forgot to say it right. Scott!
Contrivances.
What do you mean,
Solutions
Scott?
that don't feel earned. Both the Deus...
Did you spend time in the nursing home? Were you hanging out in the nursing home, Scott? Is it? He says, just got back home from Santa Fe, Tennessee. Is that where your nursing home is? Is that where they give you sponge baths and stuff like that? But it's a cheap one, right? That your kids shoved you into because you weren't a good dad. Yeah.
And the Machina have been analogized.
Yep.
While the Eagles just flew them away from Mount
Sorry, Scott, your family abandoned you in that Bagum and Benham place. And they don't call or visit. But you just wait patiently. You're like, oh, they're going to call any day. They're not calling. They're not calling, Scott.
Deus Ex Machina much? And sure, it's fine. It's a useful description of...
He says, went to visit the ex-father-in-law resting place on Fly Hollow Road. Oh.
Specific plot event. But that original translation is just so evocative.
Okay.
God from the machine, an unimaginable force brought down to Earth.
He says, LOL, so bitter, John.
A level of artificially created power.
What do you expect?
All human
Again, the Incredible Sulk. This is the Sulk stream. Everyone comes to my show being like, oh, this will be chipper. This will be upbeat. This guy seems like he's a fucking unicorn fart and rainbows and just gold dust. It's because, no, dude. I'm bitter sometimes. Like a lot. And I'm like naturally sad.
problems into trivialities.
Deep down.
Maybe that's why I can't.
I put on a brave face. And my exterior is very, chipper, I understand. But deep down, it's just a inky well of sadness.
Can't stop thinking about orbital lasers.
Scott says, no, you are a happy cult leader, sir. Okay, fine. But I don't take orders from people. So I'm going to decide that for myself. Have you guys ever seen Akira? The old, I think it was 1988. Akira came out. It's actually a pretty good movie. Very interesting motorcycle, telekinesis kids and stuff. A little bit like Minority Report with the telekinetic kids, but then there's all types of other shit going on too. If you haven't seen Akira, watch Akira. You're going to need some time. I think it's pretty long. Scott says, who's got the alcohol? I haven't had a drink since Vegas, which is not last weekend, but the weekend before. And I kind of wanted to clean out my system a little bit. And now I'm like, I kind of want to drink, but I don't have anything. Unfortunately, I don't have anything. And I took Tylenol earlier because my neck is stiff. And I don't know if those two things together will kill me. I'm barely surviving as it is. Maybe tomorrow. Despite says, have I seen Akira? LOL. Now, despite, I would 100% believe that you have seen Akira. And yes, yeah, I completely believe you've seen Akira. I completely believe that. It just seems so appropriate. Hey, Esteban. Welcome to the Sulk stream. We don't see you too often.
A satellite in space with the ability to strike anywhere on the planet with a concentrated beam of energy is about as fictional as Heracles or any other god that descended from a crane. But like those gods, this sci-fi weapon platform is ubiquitous enough.
Scott says, on ice drying out is a good thing, making partying even more fun later. Yeah, so, just a couple weeks of a dry spell. Get nice and tight. Get those abs, back in good condition, which they are. They're looking fantastic. And because summer's right around the corner, right? I got to build up a good base tan. Everything's going to look nice. And, alcohol, as fun as alcohol is, it is damaging. It damages your physique and your gains. And, I just can't. I can't.
But a story barely needs to explain it. A movie or a game or...
Onia says Ghost in the Shell, the anime movie, is great too. Yes, it is. That is also a very cool movie.
Anime can simply flash to some sort of threatening-looking spacecraft building a bright light at its tip, and we kind of get it. It represents the end game of militarization, the ultimate conclusion of the arms race.
You're saying Metropolis. Are you talking about the 1920s movie Metropolis? Like the old black and white silent movie? Because I tried watching that one day, and I didn't get very far in it. It's supposed to be pretty good. Didn't watch it.
Race.
There's a lot of reading. That's why I don't watch foreign films, because, like, I can't read.
From above, anytime,
I just can't read.
anywhere.
You guys are writing this in some sort of, I can understand your writing because it's primitive and it's more caveman like, but like actual English, no.
It's such a forceful idea that despite being
Afro
entirely
Samurai was
fictional and
interesting.
almost as entirely impractical, it has
That's the samurai from he's like in the future and like it's dystopian. That was on Cartoon Network for a while. Yeah. I think I remember seeing a couple episodes of that.
demonstrably influenced real-life politics and military negotiation, even in non-existence.
The anime movie called
laser has
Metropolis.
power.
I don't think I'm familiar with
Let's talk
that.
about the basics first, though. With an agreed-upon fiction like this, I think the most useful thing will just be going through a bunch of examples, and as a plus, it means we'll get to look at a bunch of really cool stuff. Probably.
You guys ever seen Tank Girl? Tank Girl's a weird movie. Let me see if I can look up Tank Girl. Oh no, I wanted to save that one here. Let's see. This is horrifying. I want to see, because Tank Girl's a fucking weird movie. It's right there, free with ads. All right, we're watching Tank. Oh shit. Yeah. So OBS can't do movies like this because it's got some sort of code or something in it where it stops it from happening, which is really funny. I mean, it's not funny. It's actually kind of gay, but it is what it is. I just wanted to see the kangaroos and shit.
Squash is really good.
Toast to our newest members. May their energies enhance the spirit of our circle.
Yeah, so these are radioactive kangaroos or something like that.
Great. Now let's
This is a weird movie that's like comic booky, I
check out the
guess.
weapons.
After the ceremony, the weapons will be disposed
That's Ice-T, I assume.
of.
Why? After all that?
We don't use guns.
You don't use guns.
No.
Prophet taught us to fight without the corruption of guns.
Yeah.
Let us all hold hands.
Oh, great.
Please.
I don't see how you would be any sort of effective fighting force without guns. I know they're superhuman like kangaroos and can jump like 30 feet and like cut people open with their like feet and stuff and their claws. You're still completely useless without guns. I'm sorry. Guns are very useful and they've been around for centuries for a reason, because you can't beat guns. You get into a knife fight and you have a gun, you won that knife fight. Right? If you get in any fight and you have a gun and they don't have a gun, you definitely win. There's a reason why we have guns. Everyone should have a gun and use it all the time, like as often as they possibly can. Get into a tiff at the line dropping off your kid at school. Use your gun. Okay, maybe not that.
I'd like to recite a poem that I've written.
Oh, geez. I don't want to watch the entire Tank Girl movie. I mean, we might. I don't know.
Laugh, you butter.
Pamonkey says, I know that black dude. He was in PCU. What's PCU? I don't know what PCU is. It's okay to be Christian. Says, red flag if your girl likes this movie. Hey, Jess. That's just another red flag for Jess. Hey, Jess. She likes this movie. Hey, Jess. Yeah. She's got a ton of red flags.
Probably the most
I like him. It's like a parade.
famous orbital laser is that old 1977 classic, The Death Star.
In
And it
communist
does
China.
have many of the hallmarks of the genre, namely, number 1, military trump card, number 2, big laser, number 3, in space.
Captain
But
Harlock
the Death
3D
Star
movie
has a
was
number
good.
of notable quirks that, while not
Never heard
totally
of it.
disqualifying it, do set it
The
apart
monkey says it's a David Spade movie. It's very good for the time. PCU. I don't know. I'm not familiar with PCU.
from other
I
examples.
guess I have this
Most
infinite
notably,
well of
it's only
information in front of me.
orbital
So
temporarily, because
let's look
the
it
Death
up.
Star's main thing is destroying a planet. Having it locked in rotation around a planet doesn't make much sense. It actually has engines that can take it from place
You might
think you know about school, but I got something to say to you.
What are you, a narc?
No, I'm a pre-frosh. Admissions arranged for me to spend the night at your frat.
Well, here's all you need to know. Classes, nothing before
Oh, it's just that guy.
11. Beer, it's your best friend, you drink a lot of it. Women, you're a freshman, so it's pretty much out of the question. It's a whole new ball game on campus these days, and they call it PC. Politically correct.
What shall we eat? Red meat!
What happened to the ozone layer?
It was last week. Well, now it's meat.
Let's do lunch.
1994. 1994. Wow. Okay. I didn't know. Jeremy Piven.
Chester sports program, Tom.
Yes.
Hippie Olympics. Hey, it's the 90s.
Oh my God, dude. The 90s had such a style about like the character. It's very Pauly Shore, right? Like Pauly Shore, like he was the 90s. He didn't last much beyond that. He did his lines. He's like, school, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Do Pauly Shore. But then that was it. And then after 1998, Pauly Shore might as well be dead. I mean, is he dead now? I wouldn't be surprised if Pauly Shore was dead, because he's dead in our hearts.
This will take what we can get.
Gays in the military now.
Like Dead Man on Campus. I was just thinking of Like Dead Man on Campus. I was just thinking of that. Oh, ow. Oh, I must have slept wrong or something. Getting old. Alcohol would fix that. My wife's like, take Tylenol. It'll be, and I never take Tylenol, right? Because if I'm going to do damage to my liver, I'm going to do it for a reason. It still hurts.
Free Nelson Mandela. They freed him already.
Nelson Mandela died in prison, okay? So I don't know. I mean, like, if you want to... Oh, look at that. Okay. Here, I'll give you the bell. It's okay to be Christian for $2 says check your DMs. I designed you a new t-shirt. Okay. Ba 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 ba. Where's my X account? My X account's right here. Oh God. I'm not a human, okay? Can't you just I am not a human. Can we all agree that I'm not a human being? Can you know? Oh my fucking God. Fuck you, man. I think that's a little bit it's outside of the principal area, and it's a little too gay. They have a policy about not being that gay, which is amazing. But good work on that. Never send me one again, please and thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to revive an ancient tradition we seem to have long forgotten.
You guys are talking about a party.
Meet Dave and Dave are on beer.
Toss him back.
Sunroof. All right.
What's everybody doing? Finishing their thesis, Buzz.
Despite what you heard, your shirt, after this show tonight, I will make it into a shirt. All right. Cause I know I keep like forgetting or like putting it off or doing something else. I didn't do much today. I just kind of chilled out. But tonight, remind me, hit me on my fucking X or whatever, and I will sit down on my computer. I will do that. It doesn't take long. I just need to do it. It's okay to be Christian says not gay. You don't think that's gay? You know, I think it's a little gay. I think if I saw somebody wearing that at, I don't know, Universal Studios or SeaWorld or something like that, I'd be like, that's pretty gay. Then I go about my day because I'm an adult and like, you know, honestly, I'm built better than this wolf. I think. Hey, Jess, you like Tank Girl? We'll see. We'll see if she comes back with the answer.
What? That side. That's good.
Play Metallica and they will come.
I mean, Metallica kind of, like, okay, they're not the worst, but they do kind of suck. Metallica sucks. I'm just going to go ahead and say Metallica sucks. Like, when I was a kid and stuff like that, okay, Metallica, that's not, but, like, I'm an adult now. I'm like, Metallica sucks, dude. Ugh. I'm sorry. And I'm not, like, a big music snob. I'll kind of listen to whatever and, like, not judge it too harshly. Metallica sucks.
Parisian?
Yeah, I think so.
What happened to that cute preppy kid?
Dude, it's so freaking 90s. And it's like, you could feel the positivity coming off of it, couldn't you? Right? Like the upbeat zaniness and stuff. This is before like the towers fell and like somehow a Muslim's passport fell at the base of the towers unsinged. And they're all like, this must be the guy flying that plane that just vaporized and melted steel beams and then crushed an entire tower. 2 towers, right? But the paper's fine. Yeah, before all of that nonsense. And everyone's just happy. You know, you could go to Taco Bell and spend $5 and like get plenty of food. Like way too much food. Like way too much food. And like I remember going and like you'd spend $20 at Taco Bell and then people would be like, whoa, you must have gotten so much food at $20 worth of taco. That's a lot. And you'd have bags of Taco Bell, right? And you would be a king. A king. Not anymore. You go to Taco Bell, you might get a couple burritos. Tops. A soft drink, perhaps. But I haven't been to Taco Bell in years. I haven't been to Taco Bell in years. And it's I used to eat a lot. I used to like Taco Bell. Nope. House party's worth of Taco Bell. Exactly, Hog Dog. Like, that's a shitload of... $20 was a shitload of Taco Bell. That was like a lot of taco. A family of 6. $20 easily. Easily feed a family of 6. Now... Nope. Now you got to go to the Costco, which is like, ain't bad. You go to Costco, the prices have stayed the same since the 90s, which is incredible. They are definitely losing money on their food court, but that's why they had to up their security, right? Now when I go to Costco, I have to take out my card and I have to like scan it because they want to know if it's fake. They want to know if I'm faking my Costco card to get into the food court, which is like wild. That's wild, dude. Why I'm faking my Costco membership? Am I an infiltrator? Did Sam's Club send me to like report on you guys and like check your inventory? Okay, they have a pallet of bananas. Check. They got a 55-gallon drum of Vaseline. Check. It goes on. But yeah, they've definitely upped their security. I want to go to Costco now.
You're going to wear the shirt of the band you're going to go see.
Look who it is. Look at who this is. You know who that is? You know who fucking that is? He directed Iron Man. He directed Elf. He's like a very... God, what is that guy's name? He's a very good director. But yeah, he started out as an actor, and that's him. That's him. That's the guy. Somebody give me his name. Somebody give me that man's name.
Don't be that guy.
He's fat now.
You know, this place is kind of insane.
PCU.
Prepare yourself for initiation.
Try to relax.
Yeah, he directed Iron Man. Just nobody to remember what his name was. I guess I don't.
Place to place, and it also has a full crew aboard at all times. The Death Star is, in practice, a big spaceship.
The moon is the Death Star, by the way. That's what George Lucas was getting at. The moon, our moon, is the Death Star. That's the whole conspiracy theory. When it actually turns around one day, and it will have a giant thing on it, and it will create a laser and evaporate the planet. This is facts, right? The moon is actually filled with alien lizards. And one day it will just turn. We only see one side of the moon, but one day it'll turn. We'll see the dark side of the moon, and then it'll evaporate the planet with its lasers. You heard it here first.
But because it does orbit and because of its massive influence on space weapon imagery, it gets an honorary spot. More classical examples can be found in the James Bond.
Jon Favreau, thank you, Despite's coming in clutch tonight. Jon Favreau, that's his name.
Franchise, which has at least...
I think you spelled it wrong, but I got it.
3 plots centering around orbital lasers. Diamonds Are Forever, GoldenEye, and Die Another Day all have villains that control satellites that have varying abilities to zap from above. Diamonds Are Forever might be my favorite one just because of how tiny and pinpoint its beam is. Bzzz, submarine blows up. GoldenEye's satellite actually fires an EMP, though with all the fanfare of a more traditional laser, and by the time we get to Die Another Day's Icarus, it's basically slicing a continent in half. Importantly to our cultural conception of these weapons, they're all
Hog Dog says, I miss the 90s, man. I miss the 90s too. I was young during the 90s. I remember the 90s. I was young. By the time 2000 rolled around, I think I was like 12 years old. So it was the majority, of my childhood. It was, in essence, my childhood. So I remember N64, playing a lot of video games and stuff like that. It was a simpler time. It was a simpler time, but it was still dark. It still had a lot of darkness, specifically in my life. But everybody else was doing okay.
controlled from the ground by a wealthy lunatic. This becomes more or less a rule, though frequently that lunatic is a representative of a country's military. GoldenEye, within the fiction, was actually originally a Soviet weapon hijacked by a crime syndicate, which has interesting implications for something we'll talk about later. The Death Star and James Bond satellites are similar in that they're pretty integral parts of their respective plots. But what paradoxically I find more interesting...
But Mikey says the GoldenEye laser was from Moonraker? I don't think I saw Moonraker.
Is when the existence of the orbital laser...
Hog Dog says I was 18 in 95. Whoa, what are you, 60 now? Hold on, I
is almost an afterthought.
I don't know if the math's right on
that.
that.
More
It's got to be
into
around
video
there.
games
60,
and anime. One of the most visually stunning iterations of the weapon comes from the 2009 movie Redline, which is generally a lavishly animated movie about racing that just happens to have a massive space laser.
Jaws was my favorite.
Halfway
bad
through the
guy.
plot, a big bioweapon named Funky Boy starts wreaking havoc on the racers, and so the ultra-militarized planet leader orders an orbital strike by the hyper-disintegrator cannon.
Fire the cannon at Funky Boy!
Fire the cannon at Funky Boy. Yeah, that's what Hog Dog says. Fuck public school. Yeah, I went to public school in California. It sucked. I had untreated ADD my entire first 30 years. So that was probably a factor. That was almost certainly a factor. But public school definitely sucked. A lot. Hey, honey, do you like Tank Girl?
I feel like I'm being set up. I love Tank Girl. What?
Who said that? Who was that? Scott? What? Scott said, hold on, let me look at it, see if I can find it. You guys leave too many comments. Everyone shut up. Just everyone shut up. Shut up, everybody. Shut up, everybody. Oh, it's okay to be Christian says, red flag if your girl likes this movie. It was Tank Girl. And I was like, that's Jess. She's got a lot of red flags. I ignored all of them. Every single last one of them.
He did.
Every single last one of them.
And now he's committed.
Yeah. Now I got 2 kids.
Now there's no escaping. I actually told him and the 4-year-old that today, because the 4-year-old thought he was being smart and telling me I was not a good mommy. And I was like, yeah, well, you're stuck with me. I'm your only mommy. And Daddy's stuck with me, too.
Yep. Onia says she'll kill you in your sleep, John. Run. She has said that multiple times. She said, I'm going to kill us both in our sleep. Well, you'll be sleeping. I'm going to be awake. That's what she said. And she says she's going to turn the gas on, and then we're just going to drift into the blackness. And
a sweet, sweet murder-suicide.
Yeah, one of those, that old chestnut. And then that old chestnut, right? The gas. The gas. Yeah.
Redline doesn't need to explain what the hyper-disintegrator cannon is or how it came to exist. We just get it. We see a satellite with a bright light above a military base. We see 3 lasers converge and...
Despite says, I asked my wife, she didn't like it. Are you sure your wife doesn't watch the show? She might watch the show. Hi, despite what you've heard, wife. So Sleepy's wife. You's wife. I'm John. Nice to meet you. That's my wife, Jess. She was just here. She left. We live on the other side of Florida. Ooh. Cooking
There's a similar scene in the TV show Invincible. An orbital laser strike called in is basically a sight.
Have you guys seen this? Because I know it's on Amazon. Is it good? It gets good reviews. I haven't bothered looking into it. Is it good? Somebody tell me if it's good. I know it probably is, so you'll just be like... Ugh. But yeah.
Gag. Or in the many Sonic games featuring Eggman-themed versions of these weapons. Or in...
Scott says, Jesus, I had a buddy that followed the Grateful Dead all over the country, man. You didn't have to say man at the end. That's wild. Why would you follow the Grateful Dead? That sounds boring. That sounds like a boring thing to do. Not only that, you have to hang out with Grateful Dead fans. Well, you go to the place, you listen to Grateful Dead, which is like, oh my God. For like 2 hours. And then you're hanging out with other people that are also just fucking Grateful Dead fans. Everyone's dropping acid, which is cool, I guess. But then you still have to hang out with Grateful Dead fans. I can drop acid in my own house and then imagine my music as I stare at a blank wall for several hours. I've done it. Anyways, here's the bell again for It's Okay to Be Christian. Putting my kids through college. $2 says, okay, check DMs for my second t-shirt attempt. Okay, all right, fine. I mean, how could you best this one? This one knocked it out of the park. Honestly, I mean, this is going to be turning some heads. It's just going to be turning some heads. Okay, this is take 2. This is a better shirt. This looks better. This looks meaner. It's still gay. Still pretty gay. Still very gay. But what about this is gay to you? So I was at Universal Studios and I saw like a big fat greasy nerd that was like, you know, the disgusting kinds that don't shower and like they look like they smell. And he had a shirt on that was clearly it was like a hentai shirt. It was a young girl with her face covered with jizz. And I was like, this is Universal Studios. The Invincible Me ride is right. We're in line for it right now. There's children around us. How did they let that shirt pass? How did they let that shirt through? In Disneyland, they won't let that shirt through, right? In Disneyland, they're going to be like, hold on. Okay, maybe you should change your shirt, okay, and take a shower, right? Because if you have tattoos that are a little bit too risque, I think they will ask you to cover it up. Maybe that's just the people... The cast members, the people who work there. But I think it might be for the general audience. But who knows now? Disney is for fat millennials without kids. It is no longer the happiest place on the earth. It is actually pretty depressing to go to Disney. And it's real expensive. It's not like there's tons of kids going around and happy, playing, having fun, and families and stuff like that. Because families can't afford to go there. Unless they are a very wealthy family, of course. But the normal family can't afford to go there. It's like $300 a day per person. It's insane. But childless millennials can certainly go. Yeah, and they can get drunk at Epcot, and they can ride the rides and stuff like that, and they could do mushrooms on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and that's pretty much all you see. That's all you see. So what the fuck ever? Have a hentai with a girl with a cum face on, right? Yeah, dude. You remember that?
I do.
You remember that, dude. That's like...
He was with his grandma.
He wasn't with his grandma.
He was with his grandma.
Maybe,
or an old lady.
Maybe grandma was an old whore. I guarantee you grandma was an old whore.
I mean, some of them statistically have to be old.
Statistically? I mean, I bet a lot of old ladies were whores.
I think women are more whorish now than they've ever been.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
of course. Of course. By a long shot.
They can't help it.
They can't help it. I mean, like...
Not to excuse it. I'm not excusing it.
No. I mean, they can help it. It's just they choose not to because they think they're invincible and everything in life belongs to them and they're completely privileged to do whatever they want. Even though they get to say they're somehow oppressed or something like that. It's a weird dichotomy.
Wait, I'm not oppressed?
Shut up. Shut up. Go back into your cage.
No.
Go back into your cage. I don't smell any pies cooking, so that means you need to be in your cage. Wait, I don't need to pick. I clicked on the buff wolf. Do you like this shirt?
That's hilarious.
You like this shirt? He made two.
This is gay to you?
He made this second one right here. Did you see that one?
Totally not gay. I like the first one better.
Yeah. This one's pretty. I think this one's better. I think that's better. What about this is gay to you? Can you answer the man? I can't. No, that's completely not gay.
Tekken or Vanquish.
Scott says, as much gel tabs we did, I still question how I'm still here, honestly. I used to like gel tabs. Ooh, I did. Oh, I sure did. Yeah. Now, I mean, maybe I just got good ones, but they... I remember one time playing this game called Journey, and I was like... I took a gel tab and I was playing Journey. I was like, this is the best experience I've ever had. It was like seriously legit. I think it was like on PlayStation. I don't know. It was a while back. Maybe it was PlayStation 2. I don't know.
Or the ever-present ion cannon in Command and Conquer.
Objective complete.
Despite says the most gel tabs I ever did at once was 4. You did 4 gel tabs at once? You're insane, dude. You're insane. Although, I may have done that. The wild times,
Or maybe my favorite, using the
Scott did 6? What is with my chat? What is with my chat? Why is my chat just filled with degenerates? I know why.
Of orbital laser in Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Hog Dog says, I think I did a 10 strip once. How do you... I know how you survive a 10 strip. It's just like, how do you mentally keep it together? Because a 10 strip, you might as well be completely detached. You might as well be dead. You are completely detached from reality and all. Your soul is somewhere else. It's not in your head. It's not in your head. It's somewhere else watching your body. Maybe. I don't know. A 10 strip, that's wild. That is wild. Although I've heard of people drinking like entire vials of like just pure LSD. I don't know what happens to them after that. They can't be okay.
And to zap the hell out of some random street thugs. All these scenes work.
I would like a space laser. I think a space laser would be useful for me for my various day-to-day dealings.
They don't leave the audience confused, despite how offhandedly the concept is thrown out. And that's because the important thing about an orbital laser isn't its literal existence, but what it represents. They're essentially a shorthand for a pinpoint nuke, its power only matched by how omnipresent the threat is, literally.
Which is kind of funny because we have nukes that can be very small. If you don't think we can, then you think that, but I'm pretty sure we can make a nuke probably the size of a grenade, if not smaller. Will they have a very big payload? No, of course not. They're not going to be a very big payload, but enough to take down a building or a city block probably pretty easily. And you attach that to a drone, you might as well have a space laser. You might as well have a space laser. There's no issue. Just a bomb drone, just go bzz, boom. There's no stopping that. There's no stopping that. You see those guys at like the president, you know, the inauguration stuff with those big old anti-drone guns. They ain't gonna do shit. They're not gonna do shit, right? They don't do anything. Those are just for presentation, just so people think they have some sort of defense against drones. They don't, right? Maybe there has been some technology, anti-drone technology, where they just send up a faster drone and try to take it out with that, which will work if they see the drone in time. And then there's not multiple drones. All right. If there's like 2 or 3, you're getting nuked, right? If there's more than that, which is cheap, drones are cheap. For $100, you can get something that goes 100 miles an hour, right? And then you're not stopping that. You're just not stopping that with any sort of weird, wacky gun or anything like it. And it's light and it could kill anything, right? That's why the U.S. government does not like people to have private drones. They don't. Everything has to have like an RFID or a real ID or whatever, and like everything is registered with the FAA, or it doesn't like, yeah, they don't like drones at all. They really don't like that technology. But it's here, and so suck it. What are you going to do? They don't like 3D printers either. They're trying to like put a registry of everyone who owns a 3D printer. Like, are you fucking serious? What? You're just going to register everyone for everything? Yeah, that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to try to do.
Hanging overhead at all times. And because it's a sci-fi invention, it comes without...
Hog Dog says, the last time I was on shrooms, I watched the sunrise smoking blunts. Dude, whenever I do psychedelics, which is obviously rare, I mean, it used to be more, but like now rare. God, it's been years actually. I have to drink. I have to have like a rack of, I get like Stellas or something like that. A rack of Stellas, because I'm not going to handle the come down. I like to get, when I'm coming down from shrooms, I'm like, okay, now I'm going up on drunk. That's what I do. I trip and then I drink. It's just not, it's my method, right? It's just what I do. Okay. That's how I do it. Every time.
All the baggage we know of real nukes. Travel time, radioactive fallout, endless collateral damage. A powerful person on the ground just pushes...
Hog Dog says that was back in 08 or 07. Oh my God. So long ago. That's 20 years. 20 years. 20 years. 20 years.
A button, and somewhere else...
Almost. It's like 18, 19 years.
Something explodes. The ultimate flex. The end of the arms race. Except it's not really. And to get into that, we have to talk about one of the best orbital lasers of all time, Sulk from Akira.
Akira.
In the movie, Sulk gets
Sick.
about a minute of screen time. It fires twice, looks cool while doing it, then gets destroyed and falls down to Earth. Like all things Akira, if we really want to understand it, we have to go back to the manga. All 2,100 pages of it. With its first issue released in 1982 and its last in 1990, Akira is about 1,000 different things. It's about punk youth movements, about drugs, about poverty-hostile urban development. It's about spirituality and death, and a pretty full-throated endorsement of honest-to-God anarchy. But within all that, the most consistent theme of Akira might be a story of military escalation. How could it not be, when these are the first 2 panels? The first page of Akira tells us that the explosion we see is a new type of bomb detonated over the metropolitan area of Japan. An explosion that...
Hog Dog says we used to cart around lick by the scope bottle? I don't know what that means.
That sparked a new world war. The historical parallels are obvious. The last nuclear chapter of World War II.
Pamunky says, I had half a Bible. What are these words you guys are saying? Am I having a stroke? I had half a Bible of what? What's it? What?
2, mirrored as the opening chapter of World War III.
I know what $7 a hit means. I know seven. I mean, like, that's back then dollars, right? Or is that today money? That can't be today money. I mean, I know it's cheap to make and it's cheap to transport. And like with like a small bottle, have you guys ever seen Good Time? Good Time with Robert Pattinson, and they like rob a bank and stuff like that. And he's got like this Sprite bottle full of acid, and he like dumps it in the security guard's mouth. And I don't know what happens to him. He just goes to space. He just goes straight up to space. I don't know, dude. That's a bad. Maybe it's a great way. You're not going to die. Here's the thing. You're not going to die pretty much no matter how much acid you take. But after a certain point, you're not dead, but you're not coming back. You're not really coming back or as the same person. You're coming back as Doctor Who. You're changing your entire persona. You're going to be a different person from then on. Will that person be cool? Maybe. He'll probably talk about like spirit animals a lot and like the meaning of life and shit and be kind of annoying, but you know, he'll be able to like hold his shit together fairly well, or he'll be in the fucking loony bin for the rest of his life. But he won't know because he's probably still tripping.
But the explosion is not actually nuclear, nor was it launched from a foreign power.
Despite says you put drops of liquid acid in your eyeballs. Just put it on your fucking tongue. Or on a sugar cube, or on a sugar cube. You don't need to put it on your eyeballs, dude. That's a little bit too weird. It's like, I mean, it'll work, but why? Why? Why would you do that? Put it in your ear or something. Put it in your butt.
To make a very long story short, that opening explosion was caused by the subject of a government-led parapsychology project in Japan. The project discovered that some children held latent psychic abilities and that these abilities could be brought to the surface and weaponized through a combination of medication, training, and psychological abuse. Akira, the manga's namesake, was the most powerful child ever found by the project, and one of his psychic awakenings created that explosion we see in the first 2 pages. The explosion...
Big B says, mainline that liquid acid and you'll meet all the gods. All the gods. Don't mainline acid, dude. How much acid are you guys ingesting? That's like, you only need a drop. You only need a drop, dude. But like you start doing like, you start mainlining stuff. It's just a big IV bag full of acid. You're doing that on purpose. You're transcending reality on purpose, and you don't plan on coming back. Which you do you. You do you.
Explosion that started World War III. Do you get it? The message here isn't that war pushes militaries to create new weapons, it's the inverse. The creation of new weapons is, in itself, what facilitates war. World War III...
I know we're watching this, but this Papa Meat guy, this was the worst dating show ever made, and I am kind of interested in that.
Occurred explicitly.
I might do that second hour. We'll see. We'll see. I'll dip my toes into that, and then we'll see how that works out. And if not, we'll come back to the Akira space lasers thing. I don't have a plan. I never have a plan.
Weaponized children. The orbital lasers of Akira, therefore, narratively rhyme with the parapsychology project. We see 2 of them in the story, the Japanese-controlled Soul and the American-controlled Floyd. They, too, are objects of immense power and symptoms of endless military buildup. They're the end game of an old arms race, one before the torturous development of psychic
Akira was
children.
Cool. Akira was a cool
in the
movie.
manga, just like those psychic kids, the orbital lasers
God, dude, like anime back then was cool too. Like anime now kind of, I actually don't know. I don't watch anime. But that was cool, right? There's something about like painstakingly drawing every frame, and they really took a lot of pride in their work. I appreciate that.
Useless to the militaries that created them. This is honestly my favorite part of Soul and Floyd in Akira. They are stunningly drawn, incredibly powerful looking, and they
There's a
basically never
mosquito
do
in here?
anything useful. The first time
Ah,
Soul
it's a
is
spider.
fired, it's attempting
No, it's
to
a
stop
mosquito.
2 children from escaping a military base,
Die!
and guess what? It doesn't work. The second time it's fired, it triggers a psychic reaction from one of the characters that destroys half the city. The third time it's fired, it again only pisses
Onia says anime now sucks. Yeah, I would think that.
off the antagonist, and the fourth time,
I mean, like Hot Topic, they sell anime stuff now, right? Hot Topic, there's goth people don't exist anymore. Now it's just like anime kids. Now it's like black anime kids or white anime kids. There's no real goth people anymore. It's a shame. That's a shame. That was a great subculture. I salute you, goth.
we'll get to that. Even better is Floyd, the satellite laser which the Americans used to try and wipe out Neo-Tokyo completely. Its capabilities are clearly enormous, its destructive potential nearly unlimited, and yet the only thing it manages to do is crash right back down on the Americans' heads. Okay, no, I have to actually tell you what happens here. So this group of Americans has been chilling offshore.
Okay, we're gonna watch this Papa Meat thing because I want to watch, but okay. And we do what I want.
Good? Yep, we're good.
I don't know if you guys realize that, but this is my show. This is my show. So everything that happens on this show is because what this guy wants. Oh, wrong button.
Very few times in life an opportunity strikes to do something great. When you think of the 80s, what rock star do you think of?
Axl Rose?
Vince Neil.
I think Bret Michaels. The man with 3 hits, 3 Titan songs in a 2-year span that has carried him his entire life. Poison is the name of the game. Bret Michaels comes from the band Poison, and today we are going to be talking about a love show. Dare I say, the greatest love show of all time. People talk about The Bachelor. Boo. People talk about The Bachelorette. Boo. Right now we have shows like The Button on YouTube where it's dating shows. Boo. Bored. The early 2000s.
Dating shows? Nobody's even dating these days. Gen Z isn't dating. Nobody's dating these days. The dating market is destroyed, so the only dating that you can have is on dating shows, but that's not even for real dating. That's people trying to like up their OnlyFans account. And don't tell me it's not, right? OnlyFans is like the only way forward for most Gen Z people. Gen Z was born into slavery. There's no way they'll ever climb their way out, working at Taco Bell, afford a $1 million house, especially when everything's being taken over by AI. Yeah, there should be like some sort of system where there's, people should get money probably for free, honestly. Maybe not necessarily for free, but there's got to be some sort of post-labor kind of way of doing it. But we're getting to a point, especially in the next couple of years, where jobs aren't really going to be a thing. In the next couple of years, right? The government might make jobs, but it's just going to be jobs that you come here and you sit in this office and then you get up at 5 p.m. and then you go home. There's no real work to it. There's no necessity for you being there. The only necessity for you being there is getting a paycheck, right? But that's not going to work for everybody. Basically, almost every job is going to be gone. And what are people going to do? What are people seriously going to do then? Right? What is Gen Z going to do? Just nothing? They're going to work at Taco Bell? They can't even do that because they're getting replaced by everything. There's a hopelessness about it, but there's also a great hope too, because maybe life will get pretty cool, or maybe it'll suck real bad.
Gave us amazing shows. One being Rock of Love with Bret Michaels. I expected applause. Bret Michaels, a hero to some, a hero to many. You might remember him from the 1986 album, Look What the Cat Dragged In, with their one popular song off that album, which I'm pretty sure was Talk Dirty to Me. Then followed up with that weird album where there's like a leopard chick on it that looks really cool from 1988, 2 years later, which gives us the two other great songs, one being Nothing But a Good Time, and of course, Every Rose Has Its Thorn. I remember recording this show on like TiVo or DVR back in the day. Me and my sister were obsessed with it. It was so funny. But for life of me, I could not remember almost anything about it besides some of the classics. But it got me thinking, we should talk about today Rock of Love Season 1 and do a breakdown beat by beat. You know,
Never
we've done
seen
with
it.
Other shows.
Never seen it.
Wives of Mormon Wives, Gypsy Rose, and that clown has another season. It's airing right now. And
I'm glad Gypsy Rose got out and she's living her life now, right? She had a rough go of it, but she killed her mom, did her time, and now she's doing good. Her mom honestly deserved to die. Have you guys ever seen that? Like the Gypsy Rose, her mom deserved to die. What? And she killed her. She killed her good. I honestly, maybe she shouldn't have done any real time. But now she's famous. How many? She's got a bunch of Twitter followers too. I need to follow her.
I want Bret Michaels, who I'm pretty sure is like 87 years old now. He has diabetes. He's gone through like a heart surgery or
whatever
something.
that is.
I don't even know what the hell that is. But
Partying,
we're going to be doing a breakdown of the entire first season of Rock of Love. And I'm also along the way.
Okay, sure, why not? This is 2 hours long. Holy crap.
Contestant board here. And of course we have Big John, Bret's security guard, but I have my own, Big Jacob. Jacob,
This dude is tatted out.
What's going on?
Nice to see you.
My
this is
my check didn't go through.
You don't need to talk about that. Jacob here is a lexicon of rock and roll knowledge. Who's the guitarist for Guns N' Roses?
Slash.
It's a steel trap, this one. But he's going to be our Big John here. He's going to help me out with the lanyards because there's one thing that Bret Michaels does is he gets lanyards from John. And as you see here on our board, we have our own lanyards. John, go ahead and tell me that. Like, you Bret Michaels? I'm flying out to L.A. Fucking...
Please give me some fucking content, bro.
I'm hearing a hit.
And it's funny that they're...
Please give me some fucking content. I was like, I picked this because I thought it was going to be okay, but no, I'll just go back to the fucking space lasers. That's what I'll do. I'll go back to the fucking space lasers.
In an aircraft carrier for
if you're just going to spit in my face,
and eventually,
you know, I'm here, right? I don't need to sit here and watch you doing, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my thing.
the commander
You're stepping on my
like,
fucking nuts,
okay,
dude.
We just have to destroy all of Neo Tokyo. That's the only way to resolve this. And so they start to fire the laser, but as they do, Tetsuo, the main psychic boy everyone is fighting,
I do want some.
and flies up into space.
I do want some cringe though. I feel like I'm in a cringe mood. So that's you know, we're gonna wing it. We're gonna freestyle a little bit and see if we can find some cringy stuff. I don't like this gentleman. Van life parents of TikTok. Okay. Okay. That's why we're gonna do it. I guess that's how we're gonna do it. What's with the babies?
One of the many amazing things you...
Ugh! 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 Ew! Ew! Young lady, put your shit together. What? I'm not sorry. What is wrong with you? Are you trying to be like the before picture when like a girl gets hot? You're trying to like do the pre-glow up thing? Because you're doing a fantastic job. You got the nose ring. You got these ugly frames. I'm sorry. These are not flattering frames. And then the hair. The Weird Al Yankovic hair. Dude. Pull your shit together. You have a... What is this? A Hawaiian shirt? You're wearing a Tommy... It's not a Tommy Bahama. because those are expensive. But like that, you're wearing a Hawaiian shirt, and what are these pants? Ugh. You poor travesty of a girl. You really, I feel bad for you, but you probably think it's cute. I don't. And my opinion matters far more than yours because I'm a man. Learn that. Jot that down.
You viewers have done for me is given me the opportunity
Dick
to
Wickham says that's non-binary. Well, I'm non-interested.
travel. I visited
And that's a problem. Because if I'm not interested in you and you're a woman, then what good are you? Right?
parts of the world that aren't flat and full of cows. And
what value do you have to this world if I don't find you attractive? I mean, unless you're a man, in which case you're like a scientist or some sort of head of industry, which is perfectly acceptable. Go on and do your thing. But you, ma'am, you are a failed breeding stock. I hope you internalize that comment and think about it and carry it with you until the grave, which no one will be at your funeral, and it will be very cheap. You might just be thrown into the furnace with the rest of the homeless people.
been able to see beaches besides at...
Strawberry says she's a cat mom. And there's nothing... I have a cat. Some people will call me a cat dad. But I also have real children. Real flesh and blood children that like hug me when I get home. And you'll never have that. You miss. You over there. Ugly. Hey, ugly. Tell me what it's like to die alone.
As Charles Barkley puts it, that dirty-ass Galveston water.
We're not even going to send them to Cancun. We're going to send them to Galveston with that dirty.
She might be pretty. She might be pretty if she like got shit like, straightened your hair. All right. But like, yeah, straighten that shit. Or do something with it. My Lord.
People think they're in the beach.
And then got rid of this thing. Hold on. See if we can put... See, that's what it fucking looks like, dude. This is... So, hey guys, what's up? I work at a bike shop. Yeah. I don't have much going on. Sorry. Hold on. I can't reach it. I'm gonna get it. Hold on. Okay. Anyways, you get my point.
And I've loved it. If I could take the sound of waves crashing against a pebbled shore as a supplement, or bottle the crisp, cold air whistling through Rocky Mountain pines and hit that like a vape pen, I'd probably get away with seeing my therapist.
Monkey says, make like Sonic and lose the ring. Exactly. See, I feel like she's not as ugly. The problem is she's hurt inside, right? Maybe she was fiddled as a little kid, or something like that, or that's it. I mean, what can go wrong in a girl's life? Really, how much can really go wrong? Okay, you got fiddled when you were a little kid. Besides that, there's not much that can go wrong. You have it on easy street from the get-go. From the get-go. Okay, maybe your parents died in a terrible plane crash. It's pretty funny. Well, that sucks, okay? But that doesn't mean you can't marry a rich man and then live the rest of your life on easy street. You have some potential. Wear some makeup. Get rid of this. Lose some of the earrings. Get different glasses. Or hell, contacts work. Or you know what? Just get LASIK. You can get LASIK. And then the hair, and then put something slutty on. Slutty, not modest. Slutty. Be a whore. Get a tattoo even. I'm just saying. You really have more to work with than you're giving yourself credit for, okay? Don't be intentionally ugly. For my sake. Don't you want to make me happy? A stranger on the internet?
A lot less.
Of course you
which
do.
Is to say,
Of course you do. You might sit there and be like, no, I don't give a shit what you think. I don't even know you. You're lying to yourself. Yeah, you're lying to yourself. You care very deeply what I think, but you don't want to tell people that because, I don't know, You want to seem tough, but you do care what I think. I know that for a fact. You do care what I think just because of the fact that I'm a human being. If I was like, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, you'd care about that, wouldn't you? You wouldn't be like, I don't care. I don't fucking know you. No, if I said you're beautiful and you're stunning and you light up the room whenever you smile, you're going to be like, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So if you appreciate one side of the compliment, you have to equally but oppositely appreciate the other side. So you are ugly. But you don't have to stay ugly. This is a bad freeze frame. All right, I understand. This is bad. Okay, I understand. This is probably a very bad freeze frame of you. But that's a before picture. That's what I see. I see a before picture. Give it a couple of months, you hitting the gym a little bit, maybe getting a tan, doing some other things aesthetically, and then you might be a banger, right? Couple months later, you got like a nice red dress or something on, some heels. You might be an absolute banger. I'm trying to inspire confidence into you. I really am. Because I don't want you to live your life like this. Like this. Okay? Pull your shit together.
I completely understand the appeal of van life.
Hey, Farmer
to
Cherry.
be able to hoist your metaphorical anchor and go wherever your non-metaphorical wheels can take you without leaving home behind. But the popularization of van life content over the past few years...
You know why people have gotten so into van life? You know why. I know why. We all know why. It's 'cause people are poor as fuck. Right. And so instead of buying a house and like building a real life, they're all like, let's just buy a van because we're going to max out our credit doing that. And, you know, some of these vans can be astronomically expensive, like 150 G's for a van, which is ridiculous. Right. But you can't buy a house with that. No way. There's no fucking way you can buy a house with that. Because, like, there's absolutely no way. And would you live in a $150,000 house? No, of course you wouldn't.
Has raised some really interesting ethical questions. For instance, how many people is too many living in one van? A dink and their foster dog? Sounds pretty cozy. But what if we add another person? Another? How about a few more? Well, as long as every one of those people is an adult capable of consenting to snuggling up like so many sardines.
I don't approve of this. This seems like swinger business. Yuck. Ugh. Ugh. Sinners.
In a sexy, slimy sardine can? I don't
see. Look, you can get little glimpses. This yellow dress ain't bad. She's got a nice, cute hat on, right? She's got the ear and stuff like that. She's being ugly on purpose, and I'm like, why? Why would you do that to me? Don't you love me? Don't you love Sulk, the cult leader? You should. All these other people do. Why not you? If you love me, you would work on your appearance a little bit. Or like a lot of it. Quite a bit. There's a road you have to go down. It's going to be some work, okay?
Really see a problem with it. But as with
imagine the
most
smell,
things in life,
exactly.
This gets a little more complicated. Once
It
children
must smell
are
musty.
involved.
Yeah, because, like, the water tank is only so big. And, like, the showers are probably not going to be sufficient.
Last year, I made a video about a concerning type of content interrupting my feed of sepia-toned travel vlogs set to calming music and tan-tattooed women decorating decommissioned kidnapper vans that I use to let my brain wander the country.
These are nice fans. They're nice fans. I'm not going to lie.
While my feet stayed firmly planted under the desk at my 9 to 5. Children carted around like carry-on luggage.
Buying one is retarded. Yeah, but not everyone has the ability to, like, fully build a van out. It does take some skill, some carpentry skill. It takes tools. It takes some know-how. Not everybody has that. I'm just saying. You know?
with less square footage than our country's worst criminals, while TikTok users were voyeurs to their monetized misery. Children whose comfort and privacy were sacrificed for a new, groovy alternative lifestyle their parents had chosen for them, with no ability to opt out. That video has more views than anything else I've posted to YouTube. It basically jump-started the channel and is the reason I finally left my respectable grown-up job to do this reputation-ruining bullshit for a living.
Please like and subscribe to keep a future unemployed influencer off the streets and out of your neighborhood.
But that was 2023, Funky Frog.
She wasn't working with much back then either. That was 2 years ago, something. That's not great. That's not great. You still have the same frames. Oh, it doesn't look good. She's got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles t-shirt. Oh.
Bait 2024 Funky Frog Bait is smarter, stronger, hotter, has more subscribers.
I'll give you hotter, but like barely, dude. Because like barely, brah. Like, maybe she's just got a rockin' body underneath that. Hey, can you... She can't hear me. I would tell her to strip off her clothes and spin for us. But maybe it would be good.
Subscribers and much cooler hair, so I'd like to take another crack at this
Farmer Chewy says the Weird Al look may be actually an improvement, which is sad. That's sad.
topic. While I still like my original video, there's a lot I would have done differently, and today I want to take a more empathetic approach with some extra cinematic flair.
So I hope you've grabbed some snacks and emptied your bladder, because we have a long road ahead. Wait, hold on, wait.
But first, a quick pit stop for today's sponsor,
Dangerous.
Pi.org.
Idiot. That's right, guys. I f***ed up, like, right out of the gate.
I would get a van to live in. I would like to build a van and like kit it out and stuff like that. But even buying the base van is still pretty expensive. And then you need to put all the stuff in it, which is not cheap. And then I'm like, okay, now that I have this beautiful live-in van, what am I going to do to do it with it? I have a house. I live in. It has walls and a roof and stuff. It's got a backyard and everything. Why would I need a van? I could go to the beach with it, which would be neat, which would be fun. But I also have a car. You know, so really no need.
The time I was gathering clips, this TikTok had been
But Monkey says woman humor. Ha. It is pretty painful. Just like looking at her.
re-uploaded all over the internet with
That's some bunk bit. That is good. I mean, you don't get much. And if you have a nightmare, you're going to give yourself a concussion. But like, God, this girl cannot freeze frame to save her life. Do you have allergies, madam? Can you breathe? Is that thing blocking your nose? You are a travesty. How did your genes make it this far? It's like, you have pretty eyes, but like open them. And then like, sharpen that up. Makeup is your friend. And then do something with your hair. I know I'm commenting way too much on this chick's appearance, but I'm very shallow. And so this is upsetting to me.
without context and used
Hey,
by
Dan
multiple
Snot, I will fucking fight you. I will fight you, Dan Snot.
content creators as evidence of child abuse even after the family had deleted it. Instead of confirming this for myself, I blindly believed that the family lived in the van full time and didn't realize I was wrong until several months later.
That makes sense, right? It's an extra van where they go on like camping trips and stuff. They don't actually live there. That makes a lot more sense. How else would they keep it so clean?
But apparently a lot of people missed it.
Are you going to Nolans with us? Are you going to Nolans too? We're going to New Orleans next year. So, are you doing Nolans? We doing Nolans?
This is
I'll beat your ass in Nolans. I will. I'll beat your ass in the French Quarter, dude. I'll eat a beignet over your face and the crumbs and get all over your face.
our camper van that we use for obviously camping, road trips, traveling. So the kids' bunk beds do look a little bit smaller from the outside because we had to put railings on them because our kids are little toddlers and they will roll out of bed if not.
This is a great...
Okay, our kids sleep with us in our bed. We actually don't have extra beds for them, but we'll get them.
Time to introduce the following handy acronym. Always assume secondary sources are suspect, aka ass.
God, women comedy sucks. Female comedy sucks, dude. I thank God every day that I was not born a woman, because it's just gotta suck, dude. Especially if you're not pretty like this one. This is her best freeze frame yet. This is, watch. If I do this again, I'll do it for 2 seconds. I'll do it again.
As in my...
That's not great. That's not great, but there's been worse. Let's do another one. That's again not great. We're getting mid-level ones. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, fucked up teeth. Yeah, fucked up teeth. And I bet you got some halitosis in there too. Which is bad breath, if you guys don't know. Thank God I was never a woman. Never. Born a man, stayed a man. As you can tell.
This family lives in a normal wheelless house most of the time. And even though these little boys seem to be dragged...
Scott says New Orleans road trip. I'm not going to drive to New Orleans. Even though it's not terribly far, there's no way I'm doing that.
Through the wilderness enough that...
Driving through the swamp? Because to get to New Orleans, you're going through the swamp for hours, dude. For hours. And there's something just not safe about that. Yeah, I have guns. And yeah, I do carry them. Still, you don't want to invite that kind of thing.
Mother Nature is co-parenting them, they should not have been included. And that's my bad. I would hope that I've gotten much better.
I'm just trying to get another freeze frame.
At vetting my...
And I also want to avoid her jokes because they're really, really bad.
Sources before including them in these larger conversations.
How much do you think this chick makes? She got 2.6 million subs. This has 5 million views on it. So she must not make bad money. She must make decent money. She probably doesn't get tons, though. I mean, not tons. She probably makes a respectable amount of money, but not tons.
Considered chopping their section out of my original video, but that just seemed like a really lame response after all of this time. So
Big B says the worst part of that drive is Mississippi. And I would take Big B's word for it because he is literally a trucker.
Instead, let it stand as a testament as to why you should not believe everything a YouTuber tells you. Go leave a hate comment. Say funky frog bait sucks.
You drove from to Nolans from Denver? Yeah, that's like Colorado. Yeah, that's like that's a haul too. That's a haul too. I wouldn't want to do that.
Add research under that video. Go, go, go! I also talked about an account called the Wild Thorn Baileys who...
I like the name. I like the name.
Blocked me. Thank God. Time to put that computer engineering degree gathering dust in my parents' attic to use.
Your parents are disappointed.
Yeah, blocking is more of a symbolic gesture more than anything else. This family actually upgraded their living situation not long after my post. Wow, that looks fancy. I'm sure the kids have so much more.
And now into the kids' room.
Well, I guess it's...
That's pretty big. I don't know what you're talking about. That's pretty... I mean, that's like...
technically better, but those mattresses are not beating the Ozempic allegations. If your mattress is thin enough to fit into a pizza box after being folded twice, you have some very expensive surgeries to look forward to in your 50s. That's about 2 inches of cushioning between their malleable child spines and solid plywood.
And you've got the kitty litter and everything like that, but the legs come in.
Do you think they always had mattresses? They used to sleep on the ground. Is that what you think? They always had mattresses forever? Jesus was sleeping on a mattress? Is that what you think? You can put down a couple of blankets. I sleep on the carpet sometimes. It's not that bad. And I'm like a heavy guy. So, I mean, are you seriously going to bitch and moan that my mattress is too thin? Man. Well, you have bigger complaints. You have much bigger things to complain about, right? Like how God cursed you with that terrible, terrible face. Yeah. It makes me mad how ugly you are.
And that sits flush with the RV.
The Bailey family has been traveling for 4 years, and their children.
And look, I'm not saying I'm the best looking guy in the world. I'm not. Just like by that much. But like, I'm a man. It's okay if I'm ugly. It really is. It's okay if I am an ugly person because I'm a man. I have other attributes. I'm strong. I can do things that women can't. I have brain that does a bunch of really cool things. So like the face is not my main selling point, you know? You, madame, you have none of those attributes. You put all your points into glasses. And they're not helping you at all. Look at this face. Ugh.
Children are still sleeping on thin mats with zero privacy. But beware, Mama Bailey likes to respond to criticism with slam poetry.
You'll never be a mother.
I'm told my kids will hate me as teenagers because we choose to connect instead of feeding the monster of disconnect. Opinions based on their own reality of being raised in disconnect. I've stood inside houses that certainly were not homes. So please tell me, what is a home? I am not homeless. I am home more. I am more at
Home more is not a thing. Home more.
home than I was ever before. So my home is small. My bills are less. My days are so full being what you call homeless.
You're homeless. You're a homeless bitch. You can't get mail. The United States considers you homeless. If you do not have a permanent address, you are considered homeless. Okay? That's the when your kids get older and they need to get jobs and they fill out an application, they're all like, "Oh, we need your address." You know, for the thing, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have an address." And they'll be like, "Well, get the fuck out of here." Right? Get a P.O. box, claim residence at a friend's house or something like that, which I would never let anybody do. GTFO. You live in a van. Okay? Go back to your van.
You have been warned. The Party of Six was another family account.
You can get a P.O. box. You can get a P.O. box. But have you priced P.O. boxes lately? They ain't cheap. And actually, my P.O. box, I think it's gone. They want more information from me. Like, I've given you my driver's license and my mail, my proof of address and stuff like that. And they're like, we need more information. What more information? What more information do you need from me? I don't understand. You know who I am. You know where I live. What else do you want? And they're like, oh, we need. They said something like they need more information to prove where I live. Why? You can't just. I don't get it, but they do make it difficult to get a P.O. box, right? There's hoops you have to jump through because of reasons or something like that. Probably because they don't want homeless people getting P.O. boxes. Because homeless people get mail. And then homeless people getting mail means they might not stay homeless forever. That's a problem.
They also blocked me. This is.
They gonna take blood? Do I have to poop in something for them? I'll poop in something for them. Do they want me to poop into an envelope and send it off? Because I'll do that. I'll make it runny. Right? I'll wreck my diet. I'll get hammered drunk the night before. And then get a runny diarrhea into a small envelope. And then I'll lick it. Put it in the mailbox. Put the flag up. They're going to know. It stinks.
starting to hurt my feelings. They've been living in their van full time since 2020 with 2 of their 4 children on a pull-out couch, and since my video back in April of 2023.
Critical Thought says, I don't think living in an RV makes you homeless. It's just questionable with kids. Okay. If you are in an RV park with like a registered address where you can get mail, then no, you're not homeless. However, these people aren't doing that. They're going all over the place. They are technically homeless. They have nothing keeping them in a single place. They are considered homeless. That's homeless. You're homeless.
2 of their 4 children are still on a pull-out couch, which, I don't know, maybe it's mom and dad's turn to sleep in the living room for a bit? Limited sleeping accommodations are usually the focus of the backlash these van life parents receive. These vehicles are designed to be short-term living spaces, not permanent homes. The Little Orphan Annie starter pack is perfectly sufficient for a summer's vacation, not to grow up in. For van life kids, the vacation never ends.
Honestly, how much room do you need? This is a real question. How much room do you need to grow up? How much house do you need to grow up? Because I don't think it's much. I mean, you spend a lot of your time outside anyway. So, is it that bad? Is it that bad to grow up in an RV or something like that? It's not ideal. You don't have your own bedroom or anything like that, and that sucks. But it is what it is. You don't need that much.
Which is a lot less fun.
Pamonkey says, cool mohawk, Mom. I disagree. It's not a very cool mohawk. 1,000 square feet. 1,000 square feet's small. That's pretty small. We have more than that. I don't know. I think this is 1,600 square feet, my house, which is not a very big house. It's not a very big house, but it's fine for us. Works for us. We have 2 kids. It hasn't been an issue.
Then it sounds.
3 bedrooms, 2 bath. Works.
I find it really spacious.
It's an uncomfortable enough situation that a teenager might even request to stay in a hotel room as a birthday gift, something that an account called Family...
Onia says you don't need any really if you have land. I have an acre. So, that's nice. I don't have to see my neighbors unless I really want to, which is nice. And, it's very, very private. And we're surrounded by trees. It's nice. I like my house. We're like 10 minutes from the beach. It's good. It's peaceful. There's a river that runs through the back. It's very nice.
Of nomads self-reported before quickly taking down the video.
Onia says 1,000 square feet was a huge house to like the 50s. I believe that.
For Addison's 15th birthday, the only thing they wanted was to go to a hotel.
A lot of comments
For his birthday, we went to a hotel so they could have like hot water, running hot water, and have a little bit of space. A hotel. My God, that's sad.
Described these kids as blessed or lucky to be able to travel, calling me privileged for even considering that their situation could be potentially abusive.
Critical Thought says, as a married couple, how the hell do you have sex? Your sex life would die. Okay, so we're co-sleepers. So that means our kids sleep in our bed. We have sex on the couch in the living room. Or on the floor. Again, in the living room. It's really not that big of an issue.
And yeah, it's super cool that
it's not difficult.
It's not difficult. Like every national park in the U.S., but it would also be really cool if their bedroom didn't have that galvanized square steel setup. So, is every child who lives in a mobile home being...
Art and Chair says, in an RV, the world is your backyard, but people are shitheads about RVs. About people in RVs, but can't make housing affordable. Yeah, that's a conundrum. That's an issue.
Abused? Absolutely not. According to manufactured housing surveys...
Onia says, I find land for sale all the time for like $3,000 to $4,000 for 2 to 5 acre. Oh, $40,000. $30,000 to $40,000? No, that's $3,000 to $4,000 for 2 to 5 acres in the middle of nowhere. Win-win. I'll buy that. Fucking you find me that and send it to me. I'll buy that today. 5 acres for $4,000. Where? Tell me where. I'll buy it. I will buy that shit. I'll buy that shit right now. Fucking 5 acres for $4,000. Where? Where?
Literally buy it right
Show me that. We'll buy that today.
Like
Conducted by
The second, right? Not move there. We like our house. We like where we live. But for 5 acres, I'll do something with it. I'll figure something out.
U.S. Census, an estimated over 20 million people live in trailer parks, and a lot of those people are parents.
Dan Stott says I can buy land in the Inland Empire for that much. I don't know what imaginary place that is, dude. Is that
What is
the Inland Empire? I don't know what the.
It's
Excuse me, my lord.
Empire.
Excuse me, my lord. Could you point me into the? Shut up, Dan. I will fucking fight you. I will strangle you, Dan. He says he's going to New Orleans next year. I'm going to choke him with a beignet. Right? Fucking asshole, Dan.
Doing their best. I personally know people who have had to give up housing to move into trailers due to financial hardship.
Hot Dog says the California wasteland. No, thank you. No, thank you. Hard no, thank you. The wasteland of California is a wasteland. And so if there's a place in this wasteland where they call the wasteland, it's almost certainly covered with dirty needles and radiation. No thanks.
And they didn't whip out the vlogging equipment to celebrate.
Hey,
In
Goofy
contrast,
Boots.
many
How you doing, Goof? I haven't talked to you in a while. How you doing, my man? You doing good? How's the 3D printing? Yeah, good to see you.
of these full-time van life TikTok parents gleefully describe how they left their jobs, sold their home.
Goofy Boots says it's literally desert land, no plumbing or electricity. Yeah. No. 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 In Florida, if I could get 5 acres for that kind of money, I would be like, yeah, absolutely. Because we could dig wells and we could like set up like a septic system and it really wouldn't be that difficult. In California, there'd be a million regulations that you'd have to like pay and it wouldn't even be worth it. You know, you would have land, sure, but it would just be land that you couldn't like work with. But you might be able to work with it if you had tons of money. But if you had tons of money, you would just buy better land. So that's why it costs so little. But yeah, 5 acres. If there was 5 acres within 30 or 40 minutes of here, that was that kind of price, I would buy it in a second. I would absolutely buy that in a second.
Homes to uproot their families, bragging about the comfort and stability they sacrificed when it's their children's future being thrown under the bus or the van.
Hi there, we're the Jones family, and we sold everything to focus on
Critical Thought says these women who vlog their whole family's life freak me out. They got to make money somehow. And I think they do make some money. How much do TikTokers make? I mean, some must make a lot of money, but like, I doubt these people make very much money. It just, and how many kids? 1, 2, 3, 4 kids? That's 6 people inside of an RV. I mean, if you got used to it, it would still suck. That sucks, dude. That's one bathroom. But you're not even using that bathroom because you can't constantly empty like the septic tank on that thing. So you have to be at like a KOA campground or something like that. So you plug in and you pay for utilities, then you pay for their toilets and stuff. It would just be a nightmare. It would be homeless. That's homelessness. You don't have like a place where you can do laundry. That would be a nightmare, dude. Sure, you can go to a laundromat, but have you ever been to a laundromat? That's where people get stabbed.
what really matters to us.
They glamorize and promote a living situation that so many families have been forced.
Kabuki says even 2 people in an RV sucks after a week. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. Because have you ever like driven in a car for like 8 hours? That sucks. That sucks. I don't like doing that. living in that shit?
Forced to accept. And I guess that just riles up the redneck in me. I focus.
Big B Trucker says camping ain't cheap anymore, which is, I can't even believe that. I can't believe going and pitching a tent in the woods isn't cheap anymore. And I know you're right. I know you're right because like there's laws, like they're going to be like, hey, you can't camp here, or like, and the only place you can camp, it's like, oh, it's $150 a night. And then you're like, what? I could just get a motel for, I could get a hotel for that, or 150. Yeah, well, yep. That's what it is. In Florida, you can camp places, but you can basically camp anywhere. But the problem is that means homeless people can camp anywhere and they become homeless and they just throw trash everywhere. They are absolutely disgusting creatures. And I hope they get euthanized. I'll do it myself if I have to. I seriously hate the homeless. I really do. I came from California where homelessness was an epidemic, and it's spreading. And Florida, I hate the homeless. I absolutely despise homeless people. I'm sorry that you had a rough go of it, but hey, you're bringing down my property value. Fuck off.
It's the majority of my original video.
Like I'm talking to them. They don't have the ability to watch this.
On the
But they do have phones. They do have phones. One homeless guy called the cops on me because I shot a gun at him. Ooh.
Thune family, a family with.
It wasn't at him, okay? It was in his vicinity, and I said, shut the fuck up, because he was screaming in the park, and he calls the fucking cops on me. And they were like, it was a gunshot, and I was like, I didn't hear anything. I think it was the homeless guys.
With 2 parents, 3 children, and for some
don't tell anyone, all right?
reason, 4 dogs, all living in a small bus.
Actually, like a while ago, not even that long, like last month or something like that, I went out back with my AR-15 and I emptied a 30-round clip into I have a berm back. And then, like, I emptied a 30-round clip in my backyard. And then I walked inside and I put my rifle up. And then 5 minutes later, the cops come knocking on my door and they're all like, you hear any gunshots around here? I was like, no. No. I don't know what you're talking about. Have a good day. Pretty funny. It's pretty funny. But, what? I can shoot on my property if I want. I have an acre. That means I get to shoot here.
And sometimes, an even smaller van.
Dan Snot says John swung at me because he thought I was homeless. You're not homeless? I'll still beat your ass, Dan Snot.
Essentially, we're going to show you how we fit 5 humans and 4 dogs in that little van right there. It is human Tetris. It's quite an engineering marvel, if I do say so myself.
We had found a new property manager, and at this
Hog Dog says those damn kids and their firecrackers. That's the thing. This is Florida, so you always hear fireworks. And you hear gunshots too, because other people shoot on their property. But it's just not a big deal, you know. You hear gunshots, you hear fireworks. It's not like crime is going on. It's just somebody shooting in their backyard or shooting up fireworks. And I got some big fireworks.
At this point, our tenants were refusing to pay rent.
They're still very active on their YouTube channel after leaving TikTok, with the mother recording every single moment of their lives on a...
Thought says the one nice thing about North Carolina is the cops don't do shit about anything, which is both good, bad and good. Well, I would say that's a good thing, right? Because when the cops get involved, there's paperwork, right? There's paperwork. There's like a record and everything like that. If somebody fucks with you and you have a gun like a real American, then the problem is solved. The problem, they're not fucking with you anymore, are they? They're either dead or gone. So you don't need a cop for that. It's just a lot more efficient. You know?
Much nicer camera than I have. What the f*** is up with that? Their Walmart vlogs have better production quality than my full-length...
Hog Dog says in Colorado, SWAT would be called. I mean... Yeah, they might.
Video essays, I need to step up my game. The Bethune parents.
But again, technically it's not illegal to shoot on my property. I looked into the laws. I looked very carefully into the laws in my county, in my city, and my state, and I am technically clear to shoot on my property as I see fit. However, people don't like it very much. People don't like it. I have an acre. We are in an area with a density less than 1 house per acre, and we are in a region that's like, I can shoot, all right? I can shoot. It's just people call the cops on me.
Parents made a video last year explaining why they retreated from short-form content, and I actually agree with a lot of their points about how the only short-form posts that tend to be consistently successful are those that incite controversy, and how comment sections tend to be much more aggressive because viewers are basing their opinions on a few seconds of footage.
And I just feel like...
Look at this pair. Is this that Twitter guy? God. Does it look like I have blue hair? Look at it, blue hair. Anyway, she's ugly too. Ugh. Ugh.
Short form, and this is to the platforms too. Allow people to be bullies, to be trolls, to hurt other people purposefully, and there's no recourse with that.
But this is also just a convenient way to write off any and all criticism as hate. In fact, you'll notice that a lot of these van life accounts seem to have more posts about their haters than about living in a van, as if they weren't the ones to invite strangers behind the wheel.
We don't want to put out triggering content, especially...
Your whole look is a mess. It's a mess, dude. You seem like you stink. I'm not going to be a hater here, but I hate you. And I hate the way you choose to live. And I hate your aesthetic, too. It's tacky.
Especially ones that we had to use our kids to gain
That's me.
views.
That's old John the Hater right here. This guy, John the Hater, everybody. John's here to hate on people. I hate you. I don't know you. You might be a perfectly wonderful person, and I'm sure you are. But from these few seconds of footage, I've decided to disdain you and everything you stand for.
And even remarked sexually about Molly, our daughter.
They admit...
Pamonkey says little vampire snaggleteeth. Little snaggleteeth. little snaggleteeth. Like, yeah, I get it. That's adorable.
To purposely feeding the algorithm more
Kabuki tells us, hate, hate, hate.
their children to...
It is hate, hate, hate. And I have no reason to hate these people. At all. But I'm going to do it because I'm just filled with hate. You know those people who are like, oh, these people are just filled with hate. That's their life. I feel bad for their kids because they're filled with hate. That's me. I'm filled with hate. Filled with it. It's refreshing. I like it.
Anger viewers and bait engagement. They admit to exposing their children to
Critical Thought says, old tacky ass bitch. It is. It's honestly tacky. And this girl is just a dumpster fire, right? This is a garbage look. You're making no effort to impress me. And I'm really upset by that. I really don't like it. You should be invisible. Like if I were to walk by you, I wouldn't turn my head or nothing. Nothing. Do you really want to live like that? I wouldn't even do one of these. I wouldn't even do one of those. I wouldn't even do one of those. Nothing. I would straightforward. Boo. Boo to you. Boo to you, ma'am. Boo.
But instead of pumping the brakes when they started getting creepy comments.
Yeah, I thought. She just quotes me. I said, I have no reason to hate you, but I will. Yes. I'm just full of vitriol. It's just to the top. Glug, 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 glug. Right there. And it's from years of it was a painful childhood and, just, I wouldn't even say low-key racism, just like real overt racism. And not anything that was programmed into me, because it was all me. People are like, oh, people don't learn. You're taught to be racist. I taught myself to be racist. Thank you. I feel like I'm pretty good at it. I'm not the best, right? I'm not like the grand wizard or anything like that, but I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
They just switched gears.
You show me an Indian, and I instinctively wince. Like that. They smell, they stink, they're stinky people.
Using your children for content is not unique to van life families, but what I think makes these situations so...
We're starting a hate cult. That's what this is. This is a hate cult. And we're just going to go around hating on people that probably don't even deserve it. Probably. But we just do that because we're just spreading toxicity. Because that's what we do. Because why the fuck not? Why the fuck? There's so many people out there just spreading positivity, man. We're just out here spreading good vibes and positivity. So there needs to be a counterbalance to that. Yeah, they say things like the KKK and like white supremacist gangs exist. I don't think that's true, because I've never seen real ones. I've seen federal plants that act like that. There's no way those are real people. I mean, they're real people, but they're obviously feds. So we're gonna start a cult, a hate cult. Oh my God, the feds are coming down on me.
Uniquely sinister
I
is
know.
that these kids are isolated in a tiny living space with nowhere to escape the chaos.
Kabuki Tut says curry smells terrible. Actually, curry ain't bad. Curry ain't bad. Curry itself, like the dish, is not that bad. The people who eat curry stink. I mean, regularly. If you have it once in a while, it's not a problem. But if you eat it every single day, you're going to stink. So,
Camera, not even a door to dramatically slam so they can relieve a little.
Taddy Mason says the universe requires a balancing force. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm trying to return balance to the universe. It's gotten way too positive. It's way too positive. It's way too inclusive and accepting. And you're like, everyone needs to have a fair shot. Everyone needs to have a fair shot. And you can't discriminate based on literally anything. Not intelligence, not looks, not ability, nothing. You can't discriminate on anything? How are we supposed to do anything? I can't discriminate. Oh, but insurance companies can discriminate whether I'm a male or female or what race I am or what my kind of driving history I have. It's no problem when they do it. But when I try to discriminate, oh, I'm a bad person. Fuck you. Fuck you with your elitist bullshit, you fucking bank. I fucking hate the banks. I hate the insurance companies. I hate all those stupid motherfuckers that want to crash the economy every 15 minutes just because they made a bad fucking bet. Oh, but if they lose, we have to fucking bail them out. But they give us rules like credit scores and shit. Fuck that. Fuck that, dude. You don't get to tell me how to act or how to fucking think. I don't like gay people, all right? You can't force it down on my fucking throat every, what is it, May, June? When is gay month? February? I don't care. Fuck off. Fuck right off.
Little pubescent angst. A curtain is just not the same. I can't.
Critical Thoughts says hate and sex cult. That's exactly it. This is the Incredible Sulk's hate and sex cult. Make it a shirt.
Imagine how deeply humiliating it would be.
What's my credit score? I don't know. 7 something. I think it's in the 7s. 7 something.
To have your childhood
But I'm
documented
not
without
sure.
your consent.
I'm pretty sure. I recently bought a car. So.
And know that it'll be in circulation on the internet forever. But we as viewers are kind of placed in this weird conundrum where we almost have to be thankful that these kids are being exploited so that we can...
Hog Dog says, well, everyone is born a little racist. It's up to the media to control the narrative. So what is racism? What is that? Is it racist if I don't like people outside my own family? Is that considered racist? Like, oh, you're not a porter, so you're not... So I fucking hate your guts and I hate everything about you. Is that racist? Well, you're not me. You're not part of my very exclusive race. What if I'm a genderist? Or a sexist? That's what it's called, right? But no, it's not sex because sex and gender are different. What if I'm a genderist? And I don't like Zs, Zers, and Zims. I think they're disgusting, and I think they're against God's plan. Is that okay? No, it's not. Because you got to control every fucking thought I have, right? What are you so afraid of? Why are you so afraid of me? Why are you so afraid of my thoughts? Because that's exactly why you're trying to control them, isn't it? It's because you're afraid of them. You don't try to control things unless you're afraid of what they might do or what they might do to you. Anyways, hate and sex cult. That's what we're doing now.
Can at least keep tabs on them. As one commenter under my original video pointed out, as an abused kid, this kind of life makes child abuse so easy and very hard.
Not everybody is raping their kids, my lord. Not everybody. Sometimes families just have families and that's okay. And then there's no kind of abuse going on. There's no way. There's no fucking way that comment is real. As an abused kid, I have to relate everything back to my childhood trauma. Look, I'm sorry you had childhood trauma, but maybe you were just stupid. Maybe you're stupid, and like maybe most kids aren't as stupid as you, so you know they don't wander into like pedophiles' houses and shit like that. I have to relate this to me and my trauma because I want attention. I don't like you either. How about that? Don't even know you. Don't even know your stupid face, but I know you're a dumb bitch.
Hard to track or report.
Or a stupid queer. I don't care. You know, sometimes things aren't related to your childhood trauma. That's a fact. Sometimes things aren't related to your childhood trauma. Oh, but you have to make it like that, right? Like you're playing Where's Waldo. You're like looking for him. It's like, oh, he's right here on the beach. Well, I remember I got raped there one time. You want to hear all about it? No. How about no? No, I don't. Okay? Maybe you should take that shit, go to a therapist or something. Leave the Waldo book because apparently it's triggering for you. Okay? Go. Get out of my house. People are insane. And I'm not saying I'm not one of the insane people. But, like, it's infuriating. It's infuriating how everyone has to tiptoe around triggers and shit like that. Because people are looking for triggers. Looking for them. Why? Why would you want to intentionally trigger some terrible abusive event that happened in your past? Oh, so we can all fucking hear about it, right? Oh, good. Please tell us. Because everyone wants to feel uncomfortable several times a day. That's what we want to do. Please tell us. You absolute stick in the mud, ugly bitch.
Poor. But here comes a new challenge.
Boom, right here. Boom.
Challenger from Europe, an account called Wild Family Life with 3 children living in a tiny camper with their...
Aeneas says the amount of protection for kids now is crazy, like that mom that was arrested for letting her kid walk around the neighborhood. Kids can't even be kids anymore. It's sad. It really is sad because it's like, oh, you left this like 11-year-old out in public. He could have just gotten picked up and absolutely someone obliterates his asshole or something like that. Then you're like, whoa. Why is that your thought process? Why is that the first thing you go to? He was just getting licorice, dude. Like, what's up with you? What is up with you to think that? A kid should be able to run. I remember being like 6 or 7 years old and then just running out into the dark woods without telling anybody for hours. And then no one would ask where I was that day. And then I'd come back and I'd be like dirty and shit like that. It wouldn't be an issue. It's still like that. It is still like that. Just everyone's too goddamn paranoid to let anything happen because they're constantly looking at their phones and they see terrible things. Every fucking week I get some kids getting raped, Amber Alert. I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you lost your kid because you're a bad parent. Okay? Keep it off my phone. I'm not even going to look at it. All right? If I see a van with a kid and he's pressed up against the window and like it visibly written on the side, it says rape van, right? It's written in free candy, shit like that. And there's a kid crying in the window. I'm going to look the other way just because of those stupid texts.
Their mom, her boyfriend, and her ex-husband. Trigger warning.
Free candy.
Dreadlocks ahead.
Dan Snott says, I blame John Walsh for being a bad parent. Oh my God. You know they found his kid's head floating down the river? Jesus Christ. Oh, that guy stinks.
Have you ever watched a video that you can just smell?
Scott says, don't be sorry for bad parents. That's valid. That's completely valid.
It's like a whole scroll and sniff experience. This is usually where I'd make a...
Dude, you should not be talking about like scroll and sniffs of parents, all right? You look like you're itchy. Like you're itchy. Like if I were to touch you, I would then become itchy. You know?
puck chair joke, but there doesn't appear to be enough room for one.
You seriously banging that guy? You're banging that guy? Some chicks are gross, dude. Some chicks are absolutely gross.
Whoa, whoa, too wild, guys, too wild. We don't want to get demonetized. Again. Speaking of money.
Yeah, how do we get money for food, gasoline, and everything else we need for a living? We work online. We work with Instagram. We work...
OnlyFans? Come on, you know it. You know you spread that furry bush online. Give us the name.
Work with YouTube. The thing is, we were street artists before. We did big bubbles for
OnlyFans 100%.
children on the street. We earned good money with that. But then Corona came, you know, and then you couldn't be on the streets anymore. So we started Instagram and YouTube. For some reason, it started to work, which I'm very thankful.
She gonna get Gabby Petitoed? That's the one that got thrown off a cliff, right? Probably deserved it.
You see, this is why so many...
Asteja says Wookie Nookie. Yeah.
Many of these families continue to post.
Gross.
Despite overwhelmingly negative feedback. It's often the main source of income funding this
They
lifestyle.
usually have a link tree. I don't.
Style.
Yeah, I don't really want to know all that bad, because like, no thanks, no thank you.
Well, it's kind of hard to clock into a 9 to 5 if you're in a different time zone every other week. One thing all these van life families have in common, they all homeschool because logistically they have to.
Okay, so all right. Are people giving them crap for homeschooling? Because they're like, oh, that's such a tiny space. Obviously, the kid's going to get raped for some reason. But then they're all like, you should put them in public school where they're totally not going to get raped. Really? You mean like Rape Academy where everyone gets raped? Everybody in high school, everybody in school knows somebody who banged a teacher. Everybody knows that, right? Everybody who went through the public education system, well, this is my experience, right? Everybody knows somebody who banged a teacher. Banged, right? Yes, it is technically considered statutory rape, or it might even be straight up rape. It doesn't really matter. There is a serious issue in the public education system about child predators. That's it. That's just it. There's never going to be any looking into it because the public education system is deeply tied to the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party has a lot of power. And then it goes up to like Hillary Clinton. You can't say anything about Hillary Clinton. Blah, 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 blah. It's a mess. It doesn't matter. It's a fucking mess. Thanks for coming, guys. Dude, This world's a mess. It's an absolute mess, and I hope you guys are going to help me hate our way through it. We're going to hate fuck our way through this, guys. You and me. You and me. Power. Come back tomorrow night. I'm going to be here at 8 p.m. See me on Daywave tomorrow at 10 a.m. Until then, I hope you guys have a great evening. Be strong, be valiant, be the best people you possibly can. Make me proud. Don't make me look the other way when I see you in public. Be pretty, be aesthetic, be buff, be strong. Until I see you tomorrow, drink a lot of water, hit the gym, get a good night's sleep, take care of yourselves, because I care about you too. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Good night.
I'm an incredible soul, unhinged and enraged like a bulldog's fierce growl. I'm spitting fire, burning through these trees, questioning the world, unraveling conspiracies. Talking about Bigfoot, Black Ness Monster too. Government lies, they're feeding me their goo. I'm diving deep into this rabbit hole, uncovering the truth. To their control. I got small nipples, but my voice is loud, rolling like thunder in this crazy crowd. They say I'm crazy, but I call it woke, unraveling the madness with every word I spoke.